The voicemail icon pulses on my phone screen like a warning beacon. My mother never calls during court hours. Not in 4 years. Not since the night security escorted me from the family estate while Andrew watched from his bedroom window. I press play, my black judicial robe rustling against the mahogany desk. Beverly Whitmore's voice fills my chambers, brittle as old paper. "Claire, sweetheart, please come to Andrew's rehearsal tomorrow night. Just come. Don't tell your father or brother I called." My hand trembles as I reach for Grandfather William's pocket watch, its familiar weight anchoring me to reality. The brass case catches afternoon light from my window, throwing shadows across the fresh stack of media clippings on my desk. Youngest federal judge appointed in district history. Rising star, Claire Whitmore's path to the bench. The contrast slices through me. Outside these chambers, my name commands respect. Inside the Whitmore family, I might as well be dead. 1 week ago, the wedding invitation arrived. Heavy cream cardstock edged in gold, addressed with perfect calligraphy to the Honorable Claire E. Whitmore. No personal note. No acknowledgement of our shared blood. Just cold formality, as if I were any other professional acquaintance. "But your brother doesn't exist?" My assistant Margaret had frowned, sorting through the morning mail. "In 3 years you've never mentioned." "Because he pretends I don't exist." I'd laughed then, the sound sharp enough to make Margaret wince. The invitation had fallen from my fingers, revealing a smaller envelope tucked inside. My mother's hurried handwriting. "Please come. He's your only brother." The memory of my last day in medical school rises unbidden. I stand again in the anatomy lab, staring at the cadaver before me. The formaldehyde stench fills my nose, but it's not what turns my stomach. It's the weight of generations of Whitmore doctors pressing down on my shoulders, suffocating me with expectations. I can't do this anymore. I whisper to the empty chamber now, echoing my words from that day. I want to save people with justice, not scalpels. My father's response had shattered the crystal wine glasses on our dining room table. "No Whitmore has ever abandoned medicine. You'll destroy everything we've built." "Then I guess I'm not a Whitmore anymore." The words had fallen from my lips before I could stop them. Richard Whitmore's face had purpled with rage. "You have until morning to change your mind. Stay in medical school, or leave this family forever." I closed my eyes against the memory of Andrew's face that night, his last words to me dripping with contempt. "You're no longer my sister." My mother had stood in the doorway, tears streaming down her face, silent as always in the face of my father's fury. I'd hoped, foolishly perhaps, that she would finally stand up to him. Instead, she turned away as I packed my bags. The next morning, my credit cards died mid-transaction at a coffee shop. By afternoon, security had cleared out my apartment in the family wing of the estate. That night, I checked into the Parkview Motel, $75 a week, the springs of the mattress digging into my back as I stared at the water-stained ceiling. Now I stand in my chambers, my fingers tracing the edge of my judicial robe. The heavy black fabric represents everything I sacrificed my family name to achieve. Everything they tried to deny me. My phone buzzes again. Another voicemail from my mother, her voice smaller this time, pleading. I lift Grandfather William's watch, remembering his last words to me before he died. A Whitmore's true legacy isn't in their name, but in their courage. The decision crystallizes, sharp and clear as justice itself. I'll attend Andrew's rehearsal dinner, not as the prodigal daughter seeking forgiveness, but as federal judge Claire Elizabeth Whitmore. They'll see exactly who they disowned. I tuck the watch into my pocket, its steady ticking a reminder of time's relentless march forward. The question isn't whether I'll face the family that betrayed me. The question is whether they're prepared to face what I've become. The laptop screen casts a blue glow across my chambers as I type Lauren Hayes prosecutor into the search bar 5 minutes later. My finger hovers over the enter key. Knowledge is power, but some truths cut deeper than others. Articles flood my screen. Rising star prosecutor takes down corruption ring. Hayes secures historic settlement in environmental case. The headline that stops my breath. Lauren Hayes credits anonymous federal judge as inspiration. My hands shake as I click the link. A video loads Lauren in a red blazer, speaking at a law school graduation. There's this incredible female judge, she tells the graduates, her voice passionate. She went from nothing to the federal bench by 30. She gives me hope that the system can change. I slam the laptop closed. She's talking about me. My brother's fiancé idolizes me, and she doesn't even know I exist. The irony twists in my stomach like a knife. While Andrew told Lauren I dropped out and disappeared, she's been following my career, building her reputation on the same principles of justice that made me an outcast. My phone buzzes. A text from Margaret. Judge Thompson called. You've been nominated for the Marcus Civil Rights Award. I lean back in my chair, Grandfather William's words echoing, "True legacy is courage." The award nomination should fill me with pride. Instead, it fuels something darker: determination, mixed with 4 years of compressed rage. I was even more determined to show them who I became. Fire silk falls in clean lines, the color sharp as a blade against my skin. The saleswoman calls it elegant. I see armor. The alterations will take a week, she says. I need it the day after tomorrow. I meet her eyes in the mirror. Price is no object. She nods, then kindly takes my measures and asks me to take it off, to fix it. I write my name at the counter and the hour to come and pick it up, then leave the store. 10 minutes later, Judge Sarah Chen's voice crackles through my phone speaker as I drive home. You don't owe them anything, Claire. Show them exactly what they threw away. I know. My knuckles whiten on the steering wheel. But Lauren, she deserves to know the truth. The whole truth, Sarah agrees, including how they've used her. After the conversation was done, I went home, prepared dinner, took a shower, and took a final look at the cases before going to sleep. Tomorrow was a huge day for my family, but more for me. The courthouse halls echo with whispers as I walk to my chambers the next morning. My law clerk, David, intercepts me with a stack of briefs and an odd expression. Your Honor, did you know you're trending? That civil rights nomination, the whole legal community is talking. Fascinating timing. I scan the briefs, mind racing. David, what else have you heard about the Hayes family? He shifts uncomfortably. Lauren's father chairs the state medical board, the same board considering your father's appointment next month. The pieces click into place. A perfect family image to seal Richard Whitmore's ascension, my brother's wedding as the crowning jewel. My phone lights up with a text from my former professor. Whatever battle you're facing, your Columbia family stands ready. I trace my finger across Grandfather William's watch face, the glass cool against my skin. The second hand ticks steadily, marking time until the confrontation I've spent 4 years preparing for. During the lunch break that day, the cafe across from the courthouse fills with afternoon shadows. I sit alone, surrounded by case files as shield of work against the memories threatening to surface. A familiar voice cuts through the quiet. The wedding is our chance, Andrew tells someone. Once Dad's on the board, we'll have the influence too. I sink lower in my chair, but his words carry. Lauren's family connections, Dad's appointment. Everything depends on presenting the right image. My coffee turns bitter on my tongue. They're still weaving lies, still chasing power at any cost. The answer to their perfect facade sits in my chamber's 4 years of truth, documented and preserved. I pull out my phone, thumb hovering over my mother's number. The text forms itself. I'll be there tomorrow night, but not as the daughter you remember. The response comes instantly. Please, Claire, don't hurt your brother. I stare at those words until they blur. She still doesn't understand. The truth itself will do all the hurting necessary. David appears in my doorway, holding a file. Your Honor, there's something you should. Inside, a draft press release about the Whitmore family, prepared for after the wedding. My name appears once, buried in the final paragraph. Claire Whitmore continues her medical search abroad. The lie lands like a physical blow. While I built a life from nothing, they built a story to erase me, to protect their precious legacy. My phone fills with messages of support. Judge Thompson, need backup at this rehearsal? My old professor, you were always meant for greater things than they planned. The courthouse staff, not knowing details but sensing the storm. We've got your back, Your Honor. The watch sits silent on my desk, its stillness a reminder. Time doesn't heal all wounds. Sometimes it just gives them space to become weapons. I pack my briefcase slowly, deliberately. Inside, the dress box, the documented lies. Everything I need to shatter their carefully constructed facade. Tomorrow, they'll learn what it truly means to face justice. Later that day, the setting sun paints my chambers in shades of fire. I stand at the window, sapphire dress laid across my chair like a battle flag. 4 years ago, they forced me to choose between their legacy and my truth. Tomorrow, Lauren Hayes will face the same choice. Let them see what their rejection built. Let them watch their perfect image crack and shatter. Let justice be served. The following day, the River Valley Country Club looms before me, windows blazing against the twilight sky. My sapphire dress whispers against my legs as I stride through the brass-trimmed doors, chin high. The familiar scent of lemon polish and old money fills my lungs. Conversations falter as I enter the grand ballroom. My heels click against marble, each step measured and precise. Father stands near the champagne fountain, lifting a crystal flute to his lips. The glass freezes halfway. His eyes widen, recognition crackling across his face like lightning. Andrew's back is to me, but I see the moment he notices the ripple of whispers. His shoulders tense beneath his tuxedo jacket. He turns, fighting to maintain his plastic smile as guests murmur about the striking stranger in their midst. Mother appears from behind a flower arrangement, her face crumpling. She takes one step toward me before Father's hand closes around her wrist. She retreats into herself, a skill perfected over 30 years of marriage. Lauren stands near the gift table in her cream cocktail dress, her prosecutor's confidence evident in her straight spine and steady gaze. My heart pounds as I approach her. This moment will define everything. Your Honor! Lauren's face lights with genuine warmth. I can't believe you came. A champagne glass shatters somewhere behind me. The room goes silent, the crack of crystal against marble echoing off the coffered ceiling. I meet Andrew's eyes as the color drains from his face. His worlds are colliding, and he can't stop the crash. I wouldn't miss my only brother's rehearsal. My voice carries in the silence, steady as a judge's gavel. Lauren's smile falters. She glances between Andrew and me, confusion dawning in her eyes. Wait. Her hand flies to her mouth. You're the sister Andrew said opted out and disappeared? Lauren, please. Andrew steps forward, hands raised. It's complicated. Is that what he told you? I keep my tone measured, the same one I use when addressing lying witnesses. That I couldn't handle medicine? Phones appear like fireflies around the room, guests sensing the unfolding scandal. Father moves toward the dining room doors, trying to hustle everyone to dinner before the situation explodes. The main doors swing open. Justice Thompson enters, his silver hair gleaming under the chandeliers. My mentor scans the room before moving to stand beside me, his presence a fortress wall at my back. 3 fellow judges from the district court happen to be dining at their usual Thursday table, their attention fixed on our corner of the ballroom. My law clerk Jenny sits with them, her fingers flying over her phone as she tweets anonymously about the unfolding drama. Local reporter Mitch Conway slips through the crowd, press badge glinting. The balance of power shifts like a tide, from one lone woman to an army of professional respect. Tell me the truth. Lauren's voice cuts through the murmurs. She faces Andrew, engagement ring glinting. Right now, all of it. I stand straight, channeling every ounce of judicial presence. I left medical school to pursue law. Father gave me an ultimatum: stay in medicine or leave the family. I chose justice over tradition. She abandoned her duty. Father starts, but his voice cracks as his phone buzzes. He glances down, face tightening as medical board contacts react to the spreading rumors. Judge Whitmore? Andrew's best man steps forward, recognition lighting his face. I just read about your ruling in the Thompson case. Brilliant analysis of Fourth Amendment precedent. The soft clink of metal on marble draws every eye. Lauren's engagement ring rolls across the floor, coming to rest at Andrew's feet. I turn to Mother, who hovers at the edge of the group. You chose silence over your daughter. They made me choose. The words burst from her like water through a breaking dam. But I followed everything. Every case, every article. Your investiture photo is hidden in my dresser drawer. Andrew lunges forward. Lauren, wait. But she's already walking away, head high, prosecutor's confidence unshaken. I stand in the center of the storm I've created. The room's respect a tangible force. Years of silence shatter like that champagne glass, truth spilling across imported marble. A sharp gasp cuts through the tension. Father clutches his chest, staggering against a pillar. His face contorts, whether from genuine distress or calculated manipulation, I can't yet tell. But I'm no longer the one who has to make that call. I am Judge Claire Elizabeth Whitmore, and I've already rendered my verdict on this family's crimes. The only question is whether they're prepared to face their sentences. The thud of my father's body hitting marble echoes through the River Valley Country Club. For a split second, no one moves. Then training kicks in both kinds. The doctor I almost was and the judge I became merge as I assess the situation. Clear the area. My voice carries the authority of the bench. Guests shuffle back, creating a circle around Richard Whitmore's crumpled form. Andrew stands frozen, his medical degree worthless in the face of family crisis. His hands tremble as he stares at our father's pale face. 4 years of pretending I don't exist, and now he can't even remember his Hippocratic oath. I drop to my knees beside my father, pressing fingers against his carotid. The pulse flutters irregular but present. His skin feels clammy, but his breathing sounds clear. No signs of performance then. This cardiac event appears genuine. Someone call 911, I command, then glance at the hovering waitstaff. Bring the club's AED. Now. Lauren springs into action, phone already at her ear. She was just about to leave when my father collapsed, so she rashly came in again. My almost sister-in-law, the prosecutor who never knew I existed, handles emergency dispatch with courtroom precision. At least Andrew chose one competent family member. The AED arrives as sirens wail in the distance. I cut through my father's custom shirt with the scissors from the kit, exposing his chest. The irony slices deeper than any scalpel the daughter he disowned might save his life. Stand back, I warn, placing the pads. The machine analyzes, but no shock advised. I begin compressions, counting silently. Andrew still hasn't moved. Some doctor you are, his best man mutters, and whispers ripple through the crowd. Paramedics burst in, and I brief them with clinical detachment. Richard Whitmore, 65, possible MI, lost consciousness approximately 4 minutes ago. No prior cardiac history I'm aware of. I step back, letting them work. My mother clutches my arm. Claire, thank God you were here. I don't shrug her off, but I don't lean in either. Someone should ride with him. I'll go, Andrew finally speaks, color returning to his face. No, Dr. Roberts, Chief of Surgery at Mercy General, steps forward. I'll accompany Richard. You're clearly in no state, Andrew. More whispers. The Golden Boy's reputation tarnishes by the second. 20 minutes later, at the hospital, dynamics shift like tectonic plates. Staff who normally defer to the Whitmore name now look to me for decisions. The emergency room doctor addresses her questions to Judge Whitmore rather than Andrew. Your father's stable, she informs me. The catheterization lab is ready. Lauren corners Andrew near the coffee machine. A sister? A federal judge sister you never mentioned? It's complicated, he stammers. Complicated? Her voice rises. I praise her judicial opinions to your face. You watched me apply her precedents in court. My mother wrings her hands nearby until a nurse recognizes her. Mrs. Whitmore, we need to discuss your antidepressant prescription. Andrew's head snaps up. Another family secret exposed. The hospital administrator appears, tablet in hand. Dr. Whitmore, there are some irregularities in your recent research publications we need to discuss. The Tower of Lies crumbles faster than I could have orchestrated. Truth has its own gravity. Hours later, my father wakes in cardiac recovery. His eyes find me first. See what your choices have done to this family? His voice rasps. I lean forward, letting him see the judge I've become. No, father, see what your pride is called legacy. Lauren places her hand on my shoulder. I've spent 3 years prosecuting cases before you, Your Honor. Never knew I was addressing family. We're not family, Andrew snaps. She walked away. No, my mother's voice startles us all. You pushed her away, all of you, while I watched, while I let my doctors drug me into silence. The family attorney appears in the doorway, but the damage is done. Hospital staff hover outside, absorbing every word. Tomorrow, the carefully crafted Whitmore reputation will scatter like ashes. My phone buzzes. A news alert. Federal judge saves father who disowned her. The story spreads faster than hospital gossip. The medical board will want a statement, the attorney warns. I stand, smoothing my sapphire dress. They can read the court records. I filed everything. Every letter, every threat, every canceled credit card. While you were building a medical legacy, I was building a case. Even the receipts from Mom's secret treatments? Andrew's face drains again. You knew? I paid them since the day I left. Check the records. Lauren's prosecutor instincts sharpen. What else don't I know, Andrew? His research papers, I say quietly. Check the citations, particularly the Jensen study. The attorney steps forward. Judge Whitmore, in the interest of family harmony. Family harmony? I lift my grandfather's pocket watch from my clutch. Let me tell you about family harmony. Did you help draft the documents when my father secretly married his department head last year, while still married to my mother? The room freezes. My mother sinks into a chair. A text lights up my phone. The National Judicial Excellence Committee. My nomination is confirmed. Claire, Andrew's voice cracks. Don't destroy what's left of us. I study my brother's face, seeing the boy who once bandaged my scraped knees. The man who turned his back 4 years ago. The doctor who froze when it mattered most. Grandfather William's watch ticks steadily in my palm. A legacy of courage, not cowardice. The choice stretches before me like railroad tracks. Mercy or justice, preservation or truth. The power to destroy them all rests in my carefully documented case files. My father's heart monitor beeps in the silence, counting out the seconds until I decide. The next morning, the hospital room reeks of antiseptic and desperation. Richard Whitmore props himself up on starched pillows, his chest monitors beeping a steady rhythm that matches the ticking of my grandfather's watch. Claire, his voice rasps. 4 years of rebellion is enough. Come back to medicine. We can still fix this. I stand at the foot of his bed, my suit jacket a shield of charcoal wool. The morning newspaper lies folded on his tray, my judicial award nomination visible above the crease. There's nothing to fix, Father. I'm exactly where I belong. Name your price. Andrew steps forward from the shadows, checkbook in hand. The dark circles under his eyes match the ink stains on his fingers. Whatever it takes to make this go away. A laugh bubbles up in my throat. You still think everything has a price. Miss Whitmore. Harrison Peters, the family attorney, materializes in the doorway like a vulture scenting weakness. Let's discuss this reasonably. Any public airing of grievances could be construed as defamation. Mother wrings her hands, trapped between her husband's bed and the door. Her pearls catch the fluorescent light as she shifts from foot to foot. Richard, please, she's still our daughter. Not if she destroys this family. Father's heart monitor spikes. I touch the brass case of Grandfather William's watch. Its steady ticking grounds me as I turn toward the door. You're right about one thing. I'm not your daughter anymore. I'm Federal Judge Claire Elizabeth Whitmore. The same day, after I left the hospital, the press conference room buzzes with anticipation. Cameras click as I approach the podium, Lauren's steady presence beside me. My mentor, Justice Thompson, stands to my left, his weathered face radiating pride. Thank you all for coming. My voice carries to the back of the room without strain. Recent events have raised questions about my family history. Today, I'll address those questions with the same commitment to truth and integrity that guides my work on the bench. The room falls silent as I open the leather portfolio on the podium. 4 years ago, I left medical school to pursue my true calling in law. My family responded by cutting all ties. But I didn't just walk away, I documented everything. One by one, I lay out the evidence, voicemails threatening to destroy my career, bank statements showing my accounts frozen without warning, security footage of my possessions being removed from the family estate. Each piece fits together like a closing argument, building an airtight case. I worked 3 jobs to put myself through law school. I graduated first in my class. I earned my position through merit, not family connections. And today, I pause, letting the moment build. I'm honored to announce my nomination for the National Judicial Excellence Award. The reporters surge forward as questions fly. Lauren steps to the microphone. As both a prosecutor and Judge Whitmore's friend, I can attest to her unwavering integrity. She represents the highest ideals of our justice system. By evening, the dominoes fall exactly as predicted. The medical board accepts Richard's resignation, for personal reasons. The ethics committee launches an investigation into Andrew's research. The country club board votes unanimously to revoke the Whitmore family membership. Mother calls as I'm leaving the courthouse 3 days later. The realtor put up the for sale sign today. Your father. He's not taking it well. Are you safe? The question surprises us both. I filed for separation this morning. Her voice steadies. The guest house at Carroll's is ready whenever I need it. 2 days later, after that conversation with my mother, I stand on the courthouse steps in my judicial robes. The investiture ceremony draws a crowd that spills onto the sidewalk. My father's seat sits empty in the front row. Andrew's too. But Mother is there, spine straight, eyes forward. Lauren delivers the keynote with fire in her voice. True justice requires more than knowledge of the law. It demands courage to stand for truth, regardless of personal cost. Judge Whitmore embodies that courage. The photograph goes viral within hours. Me on the courthouse steps, robes catching the autumn wind, Mother's hand clasped in mine. The caption reads, "Youngest federal judge breaks silence on family separation." Richard's medical practice hemorrhages patients. Andrew takes an indefinite leave from the hospital. The Whitmore estate's manicured lawns sprout weeds around the realtor's sign. But in my courtroom, justice flows steady and clear as a mountain stream. My clerk knocks as sunset paints my chambers in amber light. "Judge Whitmore, your brother's here." Andrew stands in the doorway, shoulders slumped beneath his wrinkled suit. The golden light catches his face, revealing new lines around his eyes. "Claire, I touch Grandfather Williams' watch. It's ticking, a reminder of time's relentless march forward. Whatever comes next, I'm ready." 5 years later, the young law student's hands shake as she approaches my chambers, clutching a worn copy of Brown v. Board of Education. Her eyes widen at the wall of photos behind my desk, not the expected gallery of bar admission certificates, but faces of the family I chose. Judge Thompson's stern smile, Margaret's graduation ceremony, Lauren celebrating her new role as district attorney. "Your chambers feel different than I expected, Your Honor." I smile, remembering my own trembling hands 1 year ago. "The best foundations aren't built on marble, Miss Rodriguez. They're built on truth." She nods toward the antique pocket watch displayed in a simple wooden case. "Is that a family heirloom?" "It stopped working the night I faced my family." I lift the case, the watch's steady ticking a counterpoint to my words. But like many broken things, it just needed someone brave enough to repair it. The student's shoulders straighten. Another first-generation professional finding her footing in my mentorship program. My calendar blinks with a reminder: lunch with Mom at Marino's, our weekly tradition now. The thought no longer twists my stomach into knots. "Tell me about your goals," I say, settling into my chair. "The real ones, not the ones your family chose for you." After she leaves, I sort through the morning's mail. A postcard from Andrew, this one from a remote clinic in Guatemala. Treating children with cleft palates. Their smiles remind me of how you always saw past surfaces to deeper truths. Thank you for teaching me that lesson, even when I fought it. The invitation to speak at Johns Hopkins Medical School sits unopened. Dean Richardson's note mentions inspiring future doctors to question inherited paths. I pick up my phone, thumbing past photos from last month's judicial awards ceremony to find Mom's number. "They want me to speak at the medical school," I tell her when she answers. Full circle moment. "Are you ready?" The worry in her voice has softened since she started therapy, replaced by genuine curiosity. "I am." I touch the pocket watch. "But I won't accept their honorary degree. Some bridges need to stay crossed." Her laugh carries newfound strength. "William would be proud. He always said you had his spine." The afternoon sun slants through my window as I review case files. My support group for professionals from toxic families meets tonight. We've grown from 3 members to 30, each story unique, but connected by the same thread: choosing authenticity over inheritance. A text from Lauren lights up my phone. "Just ran into Richard at the grocery store. He looked small somehow. Time and truth are better revenge than anything we could have planned." I start to reply, but another message appears. "Andrew, the children here have nothing, but they share everything. Makes me question every value Father drilled into us. Can we talk? Really talk this time?" My finger hovers over the keyboard. 5 years of silence. Then 6 months of careful words building a new language between us. I type, "Coffee when you're back. Small steps on solid ground." The courthouse empties as evening approaches. I change from my robes into a simple black dress for the National Judicial Conference keynote. My speech notes rest in Grandfather Williams' leather portfolio, edges worn smooth by decades of use. The title page reads, Choosing Authenticity, a Judge's Journey from Inheritance to Truth. The publishing contract arrived yesterday. Not a tell-all revenge story, but a roadmap for others walking away from gilded cages. My agent says pre-orders are strong. I gather my things, including the folder about the William Whitmore Scholarship. Next fall, it will fund 5 law students who chose justice over family expectations. The Foundation's board meeting approved converting the old family estate into its headquarters, a legal aid clinic where the Whitmore name will finally serve truth instead of appearances. Judge Marshall catches me at the elevator. His eyes crinkle behind his glasses. Ready for dinner? I promised your mother I'd have you home by 9. Always the proper suitor. I squeeze his hand, engagement ring catching the light. But first, I need to make a stop. I went to my grandfather's grave. The cemetery is quiet at sunset. I lay my judge's robe across William's headstone, black fabric stark against pale marble. I kept my promise, grandfather, living with courage even when it hurt. Footsteps crunch on gravel. Mom appears with a bouquet of white roses, William's favorite. Her therapy journal peeks from her bag, its pages filled with the truth she's finally letting herself speak. He knew you'd find your way, she says, placing the flowers, even when the rest of us were lost in the dark. I check the pocket watch. Come on. I help Mom up, her hand strong in mine. Judge Marshall's cooking dinner. He finally perfected grandfather's meatloaf recipe. She laughs, the sound carrying across sacred ground. William would love that too. He always said good food and honest hearts make the best medicine. I touch the watch one last time before tucking it away. Its steady ticking counts not just seconds, but heartbeats of courage. Time moves forward. And so do we.